$84,000 in GCI from one free YouTube video shot on an iPhone. In this video, I'm bringing on one of my business partners, Jenny Celly from Moncton, New Brunswick. And what we're gonna be doing is breaking down this one specific video that she put out that has now netted her an endless amount of clients coming directly to her. And we're gonna be diving into not only what that video is, but also why it converted so high, what you can do in order to create a video very similar, and then what her follow-up strategy has been in order to convert so many people through this video. Now, just to give you some context as to why this is so powerful, Jenny last year was a brand new real estate agent that did over 36 deals in her first year as a new agent that just moved to a new city. And that city's got a tiny population and a very low price point. And this year she's on track to double it. So we're also gonna throw in there a couple other ninja tricks at the end about how she's been able to leverage Instagram too in order to get a ton of clients coming directly to her. So before we bring on Jenny, I'm gonna mention two quick things. Number one, I'm going to link all of Jenny's profiles below. You're going to wanna make sure that you check out her YouTube channel so that you can mimic what she's doing in order to get clients coming directly to you. And her Instagram is absolutely incredible because, again, all she's doing is showing very strategic things about her life and her family and real estate that, again, is having clients coming to her every single week. And I'm going to include her calendar link below so you can talk about partnering with Jenny so that she can help you do like she's doing, where she's going to be doing upwards of 40 to 50 deals in her second year as a new agent in this new market. So without further ado, let's bring on Jenny and talk about this one specific video that has been absolutely game-changing for her real estate business. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We've got a special guest that's coming on for round two, Miss Jenny Celly from Moncton, New Brunswick. And I'm really excited about this one because, Jenny, we've had you on before and you talked about, the massive momentum you built as a brand new agent in your first 6 months. Now you've been in the business for over a year and it's been incredible to see the momentum you've built. But what we're going to be diving into today is a specific video that's absolutely crushed it for you and, netted over $80,000 in GCI, which for people that might not know is not just a significant amount for anybody's YouTube video, but it's a significant amount when you're in a price point that is what you're dealing with. So welcome back, Jenny. What's going on?
Thanks, Mike. Super excited to be talking to you again. Absolutely, a lot has happened in a year and a half that I've been doing this. I've been diving into YouTube, obviously following a lot of, the blueprint that you've given us. I did a video that has definitely, kind of hit it off for my clients, and I got a tremendous lead from that. And yeah.
I'm excited to dive into that. So before we get into it, why don't you give people a bit of an understanding of who you are, where you came from, and then also now what this success has looked like in the last year for you in terms of what you've been able to accomplish, which is just absolutely incredible, especially coming as a new agent in a new market.
Awesome. Yeah. So I've been doing this for about a year and a half in New Brunswick. Canada, as Mike said, our market is just kind of taking a boom, but our house prices are not the most expensive. Actually, up until a couple of months ago, we were the lowest price market in the country in Canada. So obviously, making a sale here doesn't compare to making a sale in a big city. Our average detached homes right now are about 350,000. So it's not actually less than 350,000. So again, it's not a huge price point market. I took out my license again a year and a half ago. Recently had moved to New Brunswick, so I didn't really know a lot of people, but I just kind of threw myself into real estate, wanting to do this. Again, from prior to even getting my license, I was watching Mike Sherrard videos, so that kind of pushed me forward, saying, okay, I could do this. And yeah, social media has been huge for me. 90% of my clients truly do come from social media. Instagram, I've been getting a lot of leads from YouTube. So yeah, like I said, I've been doing this for a year and a half, and social media has been what has kind of launched me in the right way.
Yeah, that's crazy. And just to give some people some context, Jenny, what does your volume look like now in terms of, what you've been able to do in this, kind of short window of time?
Yeah, no, for sure. So my first year, I did 38 closed deals. My first year as a realtor. I joined EXP being 6 months into my real estate license. Best move I could have ever done. Love being with EXP and what I've been getting from it, and the training and just being part of the Wolf Pack has been amazing, life-changing for me and career-changing. So again, I closed off my first year as a real estate agent with 38 deals. Right now, I am at 24 deals and I still have 6 months to go. So I'm in the process to beating my first year.
That's amazing. And, it's so incredible to see that you've just taken such a genuine, relatable approach to content. And I think that's what really hits with you, especially on Instagram and YouTube, is that, you're just very authentic. You're yourself, you're who you are in person as you are on camera, and people can really sense that, love for your family and that relatability. And I think that's going to translate into, why this specific video really kind of worked for you. But, before we get into what that specific video was, why don't you explain, why did you decide to get on YouTube? Because that's kind of a platform that sometimes people are a bit fearful of getting onto and they don't really know how to start. But what kind of prompted you to take, the initiative to actually get your channel started?
Absolutely. So again, when I am looking for something, I always love searching on YouTube, right? So I actually find a lot of my information. That's why I found you via YouTube. So people are looking at YouTube, and I just wanted to share with people, because most of the people that are buying right now in New Brunswick are from out of province. It was a move that I did with my family 4 years ago. And there was a lot of information that I could not get. I had kids, the kids came with me, and I didn't know what was offered here. It was kind of like a blind move because there wasn't a lot of information out there on social media. So for me, YouTube has always been super relevant, where I get a lot of my information. And I was like, well, why not? You know what I mean? Now I feel like I have my experience to offer, not just as a realtor, but as a mom who moved 4 years ago looking for, a new start in life in New Brunswick. So I wanted to share that, how that transition was for us, and what I do love, or what we love as a family, living now in New Brunswick, coming from a big city. And again, a lot of people have been able to kind of connect with that video, because we have a lot of people doing the same move. Yeah.
Of course. And I love that, what prompted you to do it was just looking at consumer behavior as a reflection of your own, because that's why I got started on YouTube. When I was getting my real estate license, everybody that I was learning from was on YouTube, and I was listening to their, interviews, and their podcasts, and, that's how I was getting my information. So I, similar to you, was like, well, if I learn from them, maybe it's a good idea for me to get on there so people can learn from me. And it's just looking at the way that you act, everybody else is going to more or less act in a similar manner. So I love that you kind of took that and really understood it. So let's just dive straight in. What is the video that's been able to just absolutely crush it for you and bring you all these clients?
Absolutely. So it was the 5 top reasons why me and my family love New Brunswick, and why we decided to move to New Brunswick. And literally every single one of those reasons had, they were crucial for us, right? Right. Yeah. From location, because we're near the ocean, to just, different pace of lifestyle, coming from a big city to a more relaxed kind of scene, to people being friendly, to the food here, the fact that we're near other provinces. So that was my video. I just wanted to share. And it was funny because I actually asked my family as well. I'm like, okay, guys, what do you guys love about New Brunswick? I asked my kids, and some of the things there, like the fact that they're outdoors so much, the fact that they have access to the beach, those were big things for them. So I wanted to mention that. That's also coming from a child, not just from me, the adult, but also from kids.
Yeah, definitely. I love that, and kind of bringing the family in as a sentimental touch, which is really cool. So, I think you kind of touched on why you made that video, but why do you think it decided to convert? And again, if you want to kind of touch on the relatability and why you decided to make it, again, that's really cool. But what do you think was special that really made that video prompt people to reach out to you?
So again, the people that have reached out to me, they're like, we are in your exact same spot, where we want to move with our family, but we're fearful because we don't know what this province offers, right? So every single person that has reached out, they're like, thank you for talking about that, right? For saying, okay, this is what New Brunswick offers you as a new family getting there, right? Because this is things that a lot of the people that reach out to me are looking for, and they love to just question all these things that I went through and all my experiences, because they want to do it, or they're in the process of doing it, and they feel that, you did it. They're like, Jenny, you did it. guide
Yeah.
us, right? Guide us, give us some tips as to how do we move there. And it's not just a family with kids, funny enough. A lot of my sales were also just people wanting to come and to retire here that have reached out, right? And it's just coming from a big city or coming from a different province, moving here. It's nice for them to hear, okay, this is what's being offered in New Brunswick from somebody that lived in a completely different setting, I would say, right?
Yeah, of course. And, one of the things I love it because I've watched that video and it's absolutely incredible, but it's also one of these situations, and I'd love for you to touch on this, where it wasn't some big, crazy production video. You don't have a full video team. You don't have crazy cameras and lighting and all this kind of stuff. And, it's just very simple. And I think a lot of people kind of hold themselves back from getting on video because they make this assumption as a perfectionist agent that they need to have this grandiose setup in order to get a video that's actually going to convert, because they think there needs to be some level of quality. But as you kind of alluded to, the quality is just in the value that you're looking for. So, what's your kind of advice for people looking to get started with video? Because you kind of just put it out there and now you've been consistently doing that, and it's been cool to see that momentum, but you kind of just went against the grain and said, hey, I'm going to put this out and I'm not looking for the big production setup.
My whole thing is just do it, right? It
Yeah.
is getting out of your comfort zone. Again, up until I got into real estate, I was not the type to be posting about myself or pictures of myself on social media. But people want to connect with you. They want somebody more than just that's going to sell them a house. They want to know about you. They want to know that you're that human being. So my whole thing is just do it. Don't put not having the perfect fanciest equipment as an excuse. That video I did on my iPhone, I try to be consistent, like getting the latest iPhones as much as I possibly can, so the camera's not as bad. I have now invested into a better camera, but literally I put my iPhone tripod. I said I'm going to do it. I kind of did a script, memorized it a bit, and I paused. It was editing. I got footage from like that B-roll footage was from Canva.
Yeah.
I edited on CapCut. Nothing out of this world. And the thing is that you can get free versions of CapCut. You can get free versions of Canva. So really, there is no excuse. It's just doing it, right?
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And I love that you've kind of always taken that initiative. And this is kind of like a sidetrack from that, but you've also done really well on Instagram and you've been able to get a lot of attention. So, looking at the fact that, obviously we've got a ton of deals coming from, this one video, but what else has worked for you, whether it be any other YouTube videos that have been able to bring clients, or any specific types of Instagram posts that have been able to, again, you're able to kind of track and see, okay, there have been people reach out from this style of stuff that I've been putting out.
Yep. So I try to be consistent with reels and with stories. I try to post a lot of stories on my Instagram. Again, so people get to know me. Yes,
Yeah.
real estate related, but also human related, right? And that's where I've gotten a lot of my leads. Again, people connect with me, whether it's because they're also parents, whether it's because they're moving, whether it's because they're Hispanic, whatever it is the reason. I try to show people this is who I am, and they've connected with me in that way. So I've gotten a lot of my leads from Instagram. And again, it has to do just with the fact that I'm showing them this is life in New Brunswick. This is my life. Happy to help, happy to answer any questions. And there was a video that I also did on Instagram, which I was able to do 2 closings for people that were investing in New Brunswick. And it was just literally, it was called, why invest in Sackville, New Brunswick, I believe that's the one that it was. And it was just, points not to just look at cities, but also maybe look outside of cities and what it could offer. I mean, it was a 15-second video of just like literally 3 tips. Do this when you're looking for investment. I put that on my Instagram. I put it as a short on YouTube, and I got 2 of those leads actually closed on two homes that were for investment. So again, do it, right?
Yeah.
Do it. That's my whole thing. Nothing has to be perfect. It's just get it out there, because I don't think perfection can ever be reached. You're always going to want more. It's just about really giving people information that you think they'll find useful and putting it up there.
Of course, it's really cool to see that. And, I think one thing that is always kind of interesting for people to hear, especially from somebody like you, Jenny, and we just had Amanda on and she was talking about something similar, is you've been really consistent. And I think that's plays into the role of why you've been able to generate clients consistently from your social media content and referrals and things like that. Do you have any tips for people in terms of whether it be, your process of finding ideas of like what type of content to put out, and then how you kind of fit it into your schedule to make it not overwhelming, to keep that consistency without it kind of sucking all of your time?
Yeah, absolutely. So being on schedule is crucial, especially when you have kids. And I'm still working on it, but I try to be as consistent as I can when it comes to my social media posting. I try to do it, in the first part of the morning. I know, just by looking at the analytics, that my audience is mainly active, starting 9 a.m. on. So I try to do my posts, by 10 a.m. Between 10 and 12, right? And again, it's just trying to stick to a schedule that works for you. Everybody's different. For me, that I know that I have a lot of activities with my children in the evening, so I try to wake up early. Wake up at 6 a.m. I want to start waking up earlier,
Yeah.
but wake up before they wake up to start prepping my day. It is crucial, to dedicate time to your family, have that balance, which is hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but really my best time is when I wake up early. Nobody is up and I'm kind of planning for the day. I have instructors, so I try not to spend more than an hour, for example, on social media, because really I could spend all day on social media and it kind of distracts you from it. But I set myself limits. This is how much I should be spending on social media, how much I should be spending on reaching out to people, and getting new leads, and having that schedule and following it as much as possible. It's really going to keep you on track. And every day like this, I actually learned from you. Among the many things I've learned from you is writing down what I need for my day. So every night when I go to bed, I'm like, this is what I need to do tomorrow. In the morning, I wake up and I start checking things off. And it feels amazing when you actually do all those things by the end of the day, right? I'm a visual person. I keep it on my phone, but it's not the same as actually carrying my little book, my little agenda, saying, okay, this is what I have to do. And believe me, that was huge, because it took me a little bit long to do that, but that's kept me kind of on track.
I love it. That's I keep my power list here beside me
There
every
you go.
single
I
day.
wish I would have had mine nearby. I would have shown you as well.
Yeah, it's just, again, like it's like a little dopamine effect when you can see, not just feel, you could see you're being productive and getting things done. And as we're kind of bringing this together, Jenny, there's kind of two more things I want to dive into. The first is, you kind of alluded to like your schedule. Like, what does an average day look like for you in terms of when you get up? Because you're in a very relatable situation to a lot of agents where you do have a family, you do have kids and a spouse and a household to run, and you've got a lot on the go. What have you found kind of works for you in terms of making sure that you're getting the income producing activities done throughout the day, on an average day that you would be going through?
Absolutely. So like I say, I do try to wake up at 6 in the morning. So between 6 and 7 is just shower, kind of looking at my list of what I have to do. If I can quickly, prepare a post that I'm going to be, posting later on social media, I will do it. But again, these are all ideas that I kind of think of the night before as well.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to post tomorrow, and this is, the hour that I'm going to spend between 7 and I would say 8:30 is the time that I dedicate to my kids. So now I got to get them up, breakfast, make sure they're ready, lunch is ready, take them out. So I'm back home at around 8:30. 8:30 is when I start, hitting that list. All right, I have between, I usually do 9 to 10 where I prepare the content for social media, and try to get that out of the way as well. Post that, 10 o'clock comes, and now I start looking, okay, these are the people that I have to get to, right? These are the phone calls that I have to make. These are the emails that, I got to follow up with. These are, these people reached out to me 2 weeks ago and they were interested. I haven't heard from them. Let's follow up. Just that part is where I'm like, following up with current clients, or with things, just following up with people that have been looking, but I've lost track of, and just getting, as much out there as I possibly can. Because that part is quite important. Just making sure you're on top of mind for a lot of people. It's incredible the follow-ups, what a huge difference they make, right? People that reached out to you a month ago and they kind of slipped through the cracks, and you reach out to them again, and then they end up going into like a deal. You're like, okay, thank goodness I reached out. So that's important as well. And again, and viewings, of course, right? I try to schedule my viewings as well, usually between 2 to 5 p.m. because I do have to come back and I do have to be a mom and help with dinner and they have their sports and everything. Between 2 to 5 is when I try to schedule most of my viewings. Obviously, there's exceptions if they need something early in the morning or late in the evening, but I try to keep that time to my viewings. And then spending some time with the kids, and in the evening saying, okay, this is what I kind of checked off, this is what still needs to be done, and this is what I need for tomorrow. And it's just kind of like a process every day.
Of course. Yeah. Writing your to-do list the day before is so important because it's fresh in your mind and you can kind of wake up and attack the day. Whereas a lot of people, waste half of their morning thinking about what they're going to do that day. And then it takes momentum into getting there. It's a big efficiency to make sure that you're kind of crossing this off. And, for anybody that's listening, Jenny and I use like the power list. And for me, that's the 5 income producing activity tasks that you need to do every single day. And, if you can do that every day, consistently, you can get your day done in, a matter of hours, and you can make sure you're moving the needle every single day. So, one of the last things I want to kind of ask you, Jenny, is, almost 40 deals in your first year, which is insanity, especially as a new agent in a new market that just moved there and didn't have this network. So there's going to be a lot of new agents watching this. What is your advice to new agents that, maybe either A, just got their license, or B, they've been in the industry for 3-6 months, they've done no deals? What kind of advice do you have for them to, get the ball rolling and start to build momentum like you did straight at the gate?
So my main thing, honestly, Mike, is just get out of your comfort zone. I think you're your worst enemy where you're shy or where you're like, well, I don't have the experience. Let everybody know, just walk up there with your head held up high, even if you don't have no idea what you are doing. Again, just let people know I'm a realtor. Be constantly reminding people, not by, saying selling a house, but letting people know this is what my day is like. I'm watching this house, I'm looking at this house, this is how the market is doing. Literally getting out. At the beginning, I was, kind of door knocking with cookies to introduce myself to the neighborhood, to the church people, because I didn't have a following on social media. Again, I must have had 50 followers on Instagram, and they were all family and friends, right? Obviously, I was posting there, but that wasn't going to get me many leads, especially if most of my family is in Ontario and in Colombia. So literally, I just, I think I mentioned that to you. I bought, 50 tins of cookies and made out thank you cards and made out, and put my business card in each card and knocked on people's door, introducing myself and saying, hey, I'm your friendly neighborhood realtor, and I'd love to help you out if you know anybody. And just getting out there, get out of your comfort zone, post pictures of you, post your story, talk, show your face, don't just show properties, and you're going to see how that starts to grow. And it's funny because when I meet a lot of my clients that have contacted me through social media, they even know my kids' names, which is incredible. I'm like, they're like, how's Mateo doing in soccer? Or how's Mateo doing in hockey? And I'm like, they're listening, right? They're paying attention. So again, they're connecting with you as a human as well, which is amazing, and it's crucial.
100%. And we won't dive into it in this video, but again, guys, make sure I'll link the video that I did, and I'll actually put it in the card above, that I did with Jenny previously, because she talks about a couple of the cool ninja tricks she did in order to get, high net worth clients and CEOs and stuff like that whenever she moved. And so you're going to make sure you want to check that out. So, the last thing I always like to bring it full circle with Jenny is, you were a new agent at a very traditional brokerage, and you kind of decided to join EXP. Not just what did that look like as a new agent, because a lot of people think that it has to be a brokerage where you need kind of momentum going into, but also like it was brand new to New Brunswick, right? So it kind of goes, your response will kind of address two things, which is, number one, a lot of people are wondering if it's good for new agents. And number two, a lot of people are saying, nobody has heard about it in my market. I can't, it's going to make me kind of struggle for business and things like that. I need to be at the big brokerage brand. So what does your journey look like, for the last year with us here?
Oh, so first of all, just to point that out before I forget to say, you are the brand. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what big company you work for, people will not hire you for that. They're going to hire you for you. So I always tell that to new agents that are like, wow, EXP is new. Maybe I should go with X and X because, they're big. Everybody knows them. But you know what? Nobody hires you for who you work for. They hire you for you. None of my clients to date have ever asked me, hey, so you work for Rematch, or I hire you because of this, or for EXP, or whatever it is, right? They don't. They hire you for you. When I moved to EXP, yes, I was a bit afraid because I'm like, well, there's no brick and mortar. But hold on, I was never at my office to begin with at the previous company that I worked for. So I'm like, well, let's give it a try. You know what I mean? At EXP, you have everything that you need, resources online. There's about 50 classes, a week that you can join. There's people that are constantly there to answer your questions. 6 months into real estate, that's still a new agent. So I was still a very new agent. And again, I was actually getting answers quicker to my questions than being with a bigger company that was brick and mortar. And it's because, at a bigger brick and mortar, you have one manager for a bunch of people. So they're busy. They're handling a lot of roles. At EXP, you have individual people for certain roles. So if you have a question, you are going to get a reply to your answer within minutes. Right. So that was a huge thing for me. So I was getting the support because, again, I was a new agent. 6 months into it, I had a ton of questions. I still do. So that would be my advice to new agents. I say give yourself a chance to know what EXP really is. There's a lot of misinformation out there, but you need to know what it offers you and how much you can grow. Again, for me, being part of the Wolf Pack, that has helped me grow tremendously, right? And it was something that I was not getting at a bigger brick and mortar company and at a big company. So I feel that I'm getting a lot more here. And as a new agent, I got a lot of my questions answered quicker than when I actually belonged to a company, like a big company.
Of course. It's been incredible to have you here, Jenny. And I think, as we kind of bring this full circle, the last thing is, what can we expect from you going forward? Because you had I don't know what happened to my camera there.
No worries.
Jesus Christ. Okay, let me figure this out, Jenny.
I'm sorry, I'm sweating so much. I blame it on the medicine.
Is it hot?
It's hot here, but it's like 30 degrees today.
Jesus.
But I get a bunch of drugs in me right now.
Of course. All right, we'll wrap it up with this one. So,
oh my God,
you're good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Jenny, as we bring this full circle, the one thing that I got to ask is, you've had stellar success in your first year and a half. What can we expect from you going forward, whether it be, any certain goals that you have, or, for people that are going to go check out your incredible YouTube channel and your Instagram profile, what can people look forward to coming from you?
So on a realtor goal, I actually, that icon, meeting icon is actually quite high up there for me, and I think I'm on track. So that was a big goal that I had set myself since I joined EXP, and I hope to be able to confirm that quite shortly. So that was a goal that I wanted to reach, and that I'm pretty confident that I am reaching, or that I will reach. So that was on the realtor side. The other thing is that I actually want to grow a little bit more within my community. And again, social media is amazing. Social media is growing in New Brunswick, and you can reach a lot of people outside of the province when you're on social media. But I actually want to reach a lot of local people, especially in the town that I'm in. So something that I just started this year was actually creating a children's fest in my town. And it's showing a positive image of me, that I'm not just trying to sell you a house, but I'm also very interested in my own community and providing this event. And actually, it was quite successful. It happened a couple of weeks ago. We had a great turnout, and people have actually been asking if I'm going to be doing it next year. So now I'm going to be doing an annual Children's Fest by Jenny Celly Realty. So that was a big thing for me, because again, it's not just social media, but I also want to reach out to local communities, and it's been a great way to do it. Again, this has been an incredible ride. I have so much support from you, and like the tools that you give us to grow have been incredible. It's just about putting yourself in the right mindset that you can do it. So far I've been reaching my goals. My goals is to continue and, to kind of rock it and to show my kids, hey, you can do it. Set your mind to it. You can do it. Visualize it, keep it up in your visual board, and you can do it.
That's amazing, Jenny. You're obviously an incredible role model to the kids, but also a role model to all of us here in the industry. And, super grateful that you came out and were willing to kind of share that video with us today on here. So guys, make sure to check out all of Jenny's stuff. Again, I'm going to link it below, and you can actually reach out and chat about partnering with her as well. So I'll include an opportunity to do that. So as always, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.